the CEO of Critical Mineral Resources, is joining us now. Charlie, thank you for your time. Just before we break for Christmas, how are things?
Yes, very good. Thank you, Mark. Good to see you. And just a quick apology for my setting. I'm not at my desk. Things happened, and I had to come out of the office. So yeah, just apologies for that. But yeah, no, this year's been fantastic from our perspective, all with the exception perhaps of some of the selling in recent weeks. But that's the market. People take a profit, and you can't do anything about it. I guess the way the sort of market makers work, a lot of buying doesn't really do that much to the share price, and then one seller can have quite a hit. And these guys, these investors, they know how it works. They buy on the lead up to the news and into the news and after the news, and they make their profit, and that's painful. But that is the UK equity market at the moment for small caps, and we just have to grin and bear it and look on the bright side, which is that it forces you to think harder about ways of breaking out from that range. And so, as a result, we've got a few nice things that we're working on now that hopefully at least one will be announced in the new year, which just add to the overall CMR story. And so that's the silver lining on the sort of, I guess if your share price goes up a huge amount and you think you're a genius, then you're less likely to be, you're less likely to work as hard. And I'm not saying that from past experience. We're always working hard, but I just think that you've got to look for the silver linings. And I think at the project level, we've done exactly what we expected. We've got some nice drill results. We've got more coming out in the early new year.
Okay.
So all is going well on the ground. We're investing the vast majority of our capital on projects and acquisitions and in terms of the drill rig and assets of that type. So I think we're acting pretty much like a grown-up company, I would like to say. And we still believe, we absolutely believe we've got a fantastic project, and that it's not an exploration project as such. It's the resources are there. We just need to drill out and see how big it is. And I think that is a very important distinction between our project and some others out there.
Excellent. Good. So what does next year look like then? I mean, we can take it in the whole picture, if you like, and where you want to be in 12 months' time, or maybe we can look at a bit of a shorter time frame and say, well, what does Q1 hold? Clearly, you want to prove how big it is, but what would be really we can look forward to for the company from next year?
Yeah, I think it's going to take quite a long time to know how big it is, because it's a very large project area. I think we've got at least 50 kilometers squared of limestone target. And then we've got the rhyolite target on the basement, which sort of adds to those kilometers squared of target. But the primary target remains for now the limestone target. So 50 kilometers squared, it's going to take a long time. But certainly next year, we're expecting to have our maiden resource, which won't be, 25 million tons. It will be enough to push the button on a mine development. And so by the end of next year, we expect to be able to push that button. So that means maiden resource estimate, feasibility study, and which a lot of that will be down to the sort of more metallurgy work and pilot plant work on our rocks, to make sure we get the perfect plant built, and then the EIA on the plant, water studies, both where we're going to get the water from and how we're going to deal with water effluent. And all of that will feed into an EIA for the processing plant, a feasibility study, and then looking to push the button on mine development at the end of 2026. So we're building it in 2027, and it might be that we're building it second half of 2027. It might be the first half. It just depends on how quickly things go. But we're full on developing this project into a mine. And we've got all the people and all the skills and all the support to do it. And I mean, only today, Nurdine's in Casablanca speaking with the environmental impact assessment chap who's going to find the water for us and deal with how we process the water, tailings, effluent, centrifuge or filter press, so how we recycle the water. So all that work, that feasibility study work, is happening now. What's great about AFRI Lab in Marrakesh is they have, excuse the sound in the background, they have a pilot plant where we can send all our material for accurate flotation test work. We've already had flotation test work, and we know that we've got at least an 80% recovery, but that sort of service from AFRI Lab is fantastic, and they will design and probably build the plant for us. So all that work's happening this year, so we're ready by the end of the year with the resource estimate to push the button on the construction.
Oh, yeah, you cut off when you said water press or centrifuge system. So if you just got to go back to that and then just carry on, that should work.
Thank you, Mark. Apologies once again for my sort of location, and Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks for your support.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.